When news broke that Chrisean Rock, the subject of constant drama, had completely disappeared, that wasn't the most disturbing part. Her baby, Junior, had also disappeared days earlier. According to sources, it started when CPS agents unexpectedly showed up at Chrissy's house late one night and returned the following morning for more questions. But Chrissy was gone, and baby Junior too had left with an unidentified person. Neighbors claimed to have seen a man in a hoodie who wasn't a family member and most definitely wasn't CPS, leaving the residents with the toddler in a state of panic on social media. Was she avoiding the authorities? Was she afraid of losing her child? People wanted to know if there was something more sinister going on behind the scenes as CPS began an ongoing search. But Blueface, who is usually quick to comment, remained eerily silent. This wasn't just a celebrity drama anymore, it was a full-blown catastrophe, and if the rumors were true, everything could change in the next 24 hours. For months, Chrisean Rock had dominated headlines for all the wrong reasons: violent altercations, viral tantrums, emotional collapses, and unpredictable public behavior. But one thing gave people hope. Her newborn son, Junior, was regularly photographed in her arms and was frequently described as the joy of her life. Chrissy herself frequently posted about being a changed woman after becoming a mother, but not everyone found this story credible. According to reports, CPS had been surreptitiously monitoring the situation for weeks. Records from unnamed sources showed that Chrissy's residence had already been the subject of surprise wellness exams after multiple neighbors and worried fans complained about loud fights, crying noises, and what they described as dangerous living conditions. However, things took a drastic turn after what Chrissy called a routine checkup when baby Junior was taken to a hospital in Los Angeles. Doctors reportedly noticed obvious bruising on the child's back and upper arms. Hospital insiders disclosed that medical staff were not convinced by Chrissy's alleged explanation that it was caused by rolling over awkwardly. A mandatory report was filed with Child Protective Services, starting a series of events that would soon throw Chrissy's world into disarray. Terrifying at that point, reports indicated that CPS officers returned to her home the next morning for additional testing, but this time they discovered that Chrissy was gone. They also found the house unlocked, no note in sight, and, most shockingly, no evidence of baby Junior. CPS officers promptly reported him missing to local authorities late the previous evening after neighbors told them they had seen a dark SUV parked outside the house with its lights off and a man in a hoodie holding a child wrapped in a blanket. The kicker was that no one knew who he was. They confirmed that he wasn't listed on any guardianship or visiting records, and they confirmed that he wasn't related to anyone. Talk was ablaze with rumors that she ran away before they could take the baby, while others claimed that Blueface, who is usually quick to comment when trouble arises, remained uncharacteristically silent. In the meantime, admirers took notice of the fact that Blueface didn't post anything about his child or Chrissy's disappearance. Some speculated that he was complicit, while others claimed he simply didn't know. However, insiders close to Blueface's team eventually revealed a startling detail. He reportedly received a message the night before that simply stated, "Don't come looking, your absence is better for us." No name, no number. The situation became much more dire after that realization because it was possible that Chrissy had been preparing to run for weeks if she purposefully disappeared with assistance. The unsettling question that everyone was now asking was why she was fleeing from it's CPS, the opinion of the internet, Blueface, or was she trying to protect her son from a much more serious threat? Whatever the case, one thing was certain. This wasn't just another celebrity breakdown. The clock was ticking, and nobody knew where that clock would end at that moment. The city of Los Angeles was engulfed in a tornado of chaos, terror, and viral misinformation. A young woman named Jade, who claimed to have been one of Chrissy's former assistants, came forward looking terrified, her voice shaking, and tears in her eyes as she whispered, "I can no longer be silent. What happens doesn't matter to me. The truth must be known by all of you." Jade claimed that for 6 months immediately following the birth of baby Junior, she worked closely with Chrissy. She insisted that she saw multiple instances of emotional instability and careless behavior, but everyone was taken aback by what she said next. She also claimed that someone was pursuing her, claiming that the threat wasn't CPS. She thought someone close to her would try to take the baby away. She continued by saying that Chrissy had been secretly planning to disappear for 2 weeks by packing a go bag with IDs, cash, diapers, and a burner phone. She wasn't spiraling. Instead, she had a plan, as though she knew that no one would believe her when it happened. Then the bombshell came, and he finally found us. Chrissy allegedly told her the night before she vanished, and Jade thought she was referring to Blueface, but she concluded, "I don't believe she did now." This caused complete chaos on the internet, with people wondering if she had ever discussed a violent ex, stalker, or other danger she kept from her fans, or if she was using code to refer to Blueface. Security camera footage from a neighbor's porch allegedly showed the dark SUV in question pulling up silently, its lights off, and a tall, dark-clad man emerged, made his way straight to Chrissy's side door, and returned a few minutes later with a baby wrapped in a blanket. The video was analyzed by enthusiasts as if it were a documentary on real crime, and they zoomed in and tried to identify the man, but then a TikTok detective made the connection, reducing its speed and trying to identify the man. Social media was immediately incensed at the name after an online altercation between the two last year. Glock Savage, a lesser-known rapper and Chrissy's former friend, had apparently been avoiding the spotlight, and Chrissy had claimed he did some shit at the time, and she had blocked him. But during her live performance, Jade confirmed what fans had previously only speculated, that he was close to her, really close, and he gets it in a way that no one else does. So, everything changed. If the man in the video was Glock Savage, was he helping her escape, or was the child being taken by him? No one knew, and CPS only confirmed that Baby Jr. had not been legally transferred to any family members or known contacts. They had no formal comments. Then, however, a screenshot of a deleted post from Chrissy's Finsta account surfaced. The caption read, "Just know it wasn't to vanish if I go. It was for survival." Blueface eventually spoke up, but that only served to fuel the fires. "I told y'all she isn't built for this life," he said, as the caption for a blurry selfie. "Continue being the hero and see what happens," he wrote. "You knew she was going to run. You were calming her down. Did you scare her away, or did you assist her in leaving?" Some admirers believed that Blueface was a front for her, while others said that he used live videos, continuous humiliation, and legal pressure to push her over the edge. Then, as if the cosmos wanted to continue the chaos, police received an anonymous tip that a tall man who looked like Glock Savage was spotted with Chrisean and Baby Jr. at a gas station 2 counties away. Surveillance cameras confirmed that she was the one Chrissy with his hood up. This was more than just a mother going missing. It was a planned escape from an unknown source. Was she protecting Baby Jr. from CPS, or from a darker person who is still watching? Finally, what does Chrissy know that we don't know? The story took a worse turn than anyone could have predicted when the security tape revealed that Chrisean Rock was alive and on the run, allegedly carrying a Glock in Baby Jr. due to an unconfirmed custody transfer and growing mental health concerns surrounding the mother. Police immediately issued a nationwide Amber Alert, officially designating Baby Jr. as a child potentially in danger. Not because of strangers, but because of his mother. As the manhunt intensified, a new audio clip from a former caseworker connected to a previous CPS visit surfaced. The unnamed source said in the 2-minute voice note, "We flagged the environment as unstable, but there were influential people pressuring the department to not escalate it publicly." What was in charge of stifling CPS investigations for branding purposes? A prominent music entrepreneur who has been a longtime friend of Blueface allegedly contacted CPS representatives months ago to keep things quiet, out of fear that taking the child would cause controversy that could harm future collaborations. Then, the explosive detonated, revealing a barely noticeable but remarkably real screenshot from an old legal database that was shared by TruthLeaks. It showed the title of a sealed court case from over 3 years ago, long before Chrissy gave birth to Baby Jr., along with her name. Court records for Rock versus unknown mail order of protection filed. These were not available to the general public, but that name, unknown mail, created a lot of speculation about what Chrissy was evading at the time and whether it was related to today. Shortly after that, one of Chrissy's cousins, who wished to remain anonymous, contacted Spilled Souls TV and revealed a disturbing reality. Not Blueface, but a man she had met as a teenager who had a dangerous obsession. She had changed her number. Years ago, she thought he had left, but a few weeks ago, she got a strange note that made her panic. The relative then shared a screen grab of an unsettling direct message that Chrissy allegedly received before she vanished. The story is far from over, with no name, no response, and no emoticons, just one terrifying sentence. Right now, Chrisean has left again, but the pressure is mounting because a scary timeline is emerging as more people dig. 2 months ago, CPS visits increased, and Glock Savage was spotted near Chrissy's house 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, Chrissy posted a mysterious comment that said, "People never disappear. They simply observe more quietly." Baby Junior was admitted to the hospital 4 days ago. Unknown bruises were found 2 nights ago, Chrissy disappeared, and Glock is shown with the infant, and right now there are, in the meantime, Blueface made a triumphant return with a video that left everyone speechless. It shows him walking down a pavement without a shirt on and seeming upset. "I'm not sure what you guys want me to say," he muttered. "She made her own decisions, so this isn't my fault. Does she want to run? Permit her to run, but don't pretend that I didn't warn you. Don't pretend that I haven't tried." He paused and said, "She had better be prepared for whatever comes next." Was that a danger, a cautionary tale, or a man realizing that he no longer controls the story? The fans weren't amused, though, and they immediately flooded in. "This is also your child, man. He's talking in circles. Where is your son? Why do you seem to know more than you actually do?" Meanwhile, it was reported that Glock Savage's phone had been pinged in Arizona, and police believed that Chrissy was with him. Officials said that they were getting closer, but just as people were starting to feel hopeful, Shad Seekers posted an unexpected, grainy, and authentic snap lore illusion of a Chrisean outside of a rundown motel crying while holding baby Junior. What was most heartbreaking was her handwritten sign, which trembled in the wind, saying, "Don't take him, please." The comment section went crazy because she is not avoiding CPS. Rather, she is running from something else. She looks scared. And a mother is not hiding here. She is pleading with you guys about something much more serious. The public's reaction was more intense than usual, and the following hashtags went viral right away. Save Baby Junior, protect Christine, we're Baby Junior unchained. This is not entertainment. Within hours, fans, child advocates, and even psychologists were trying to make sense of the chaos on Twitter, TikTok panels, YouTube live streams, and other platforms. Or was she alone in trying to protect Baby Junior from a system and people who let her down? The most terrifying part is that if she disappears again, it could be permanent. In a comment on a fan post that went viral, Keke Palmer wrote, "I'm praying for that baby. This picture hurts." Cardi B tweeted, "You guys are quick to criticize, yet slow to offer assistance. I'm praying for that baby. This picture hurts." However, not everyone showed such empathy. "I told you that she wasn't built for this." Boozy said live that she must find a solid home for that child. Point-blank backlash erupted in his comment section. "You're dragging her while she's crying on the street, Boozy. Isn't this it when she's vulnerable?" The story was dubbed a celebrity, custody crisis by CNN Entertainment, a mental health spiral by TMZ, and the tragic fall of Chrisean Rock by BuzzFeed. However, one opinion piece went viral because it said something that many people were afraid to say: the world loves to watch. Black women fall apart and be shared by it. We reclaim motherhood, we chuckle, make fun of, and joke about them until we see them clutching their infant while crying, and we still scroll past it. It concluded that Chrissy is in a state of survival rather than disarray, and at a rare news event, CPS officials made the announcement that this case is being handled urgently. Finding the child and making sure he is safe are our top priorities. Fans, however, didn't believe it. If this was protection, she wouldn't be begging for help on the street. One viral TikTok that was patched together with motel footage said, "Don't fail another black mother. Chrisean is not a threat." Some even began organizing protests outside CPS offices with posters that read, "And where was CPS?" Blueface finally shared another narrative while she was pleading for assistance, but it was cold and concise. "I told her to let him go. She wants us to be a martyr. Not my fault. All you post while you watch this happen is that you have been contributing to this catastrophe for months. Where is your responsibility, Diamet?" And then there was a final twist, an audio tape purportedly from a "we may have pushed too hard too quickly," as a supervisor acknowledges in a leaked confidential CPS staff meeting that there was no immediate threat to the child. The fans' preconceived notion that Chrisean was cornered was confirmed to be true, not insane or unpredictable. just trying to hold on to her son, which was all she had left. Now, everyone wants to know where Chrisean is right now, who is keeping her out of the spotlight, and what she was running from before CPS even stepped in, because it seems like something much deeper is still buried in the way this story is unfolding, and its unearthing is imminent. A new video was released just when the internet thought it had seen everything, showing a dimly lit motel room, and it was posted anonymously to a burner Twitter account. In the video, Chrisean was speaking directly into the camera. The sound of baby Junior's fussing could be heard in the background, along with her body trembling and her eyes dilating. She said, "This has nothing to do with Blueface. This is a matter of survival, you guys. You don't get it. There's another person, someone that none of you saw before." She continued, then glanced over her shoulder. "I am aware that they have tapped the last phone and that they are tracking me. I'm not insane. Here's the reality if I do end up dead." Then she said, "This has everything." She reached down and held up a tiny USB disc to the camera, recording messages and even dangers to make sure this gets out in case something happens to me or baby Junior. The video ended, but there was no timestamp, no location, and no indication of where she was. The internet went crazy when Chrissy posted a countdown clock on her official Instagram profile just before the craze erupted. Was she planning to reveal the contents of the flash drive? Did she document evidence of manipulation, threats, or abuse, possibly from the sector, the label, or perhaps a close relative? Everyone knew that this was no longer just a custody dispute. The goal was one of survival. CPS issued a final warning as the clock ran out. Chrisean Rock's legal custody of baby Junior would be transferred if she missed her scheduled hearing with Child Protective Services within 72 hours. As the world watches the countdown to zero, one question rises above all others. Is Chrisean Rock preparing to reveal everything? Will she attend the hearing and defend baby Junior in court? Or has she already left, escaping a system, a danger, or a reality too grim for the general population? To face through stolen documents, heartbreaking motel footage, muttered names, and an enigmatic flash, Chrisean had 72 hours to return or risk losing her son forever. What could be more terrifying? Her team wrote, "We hear the clock ticking. We have viewed Chrisean not as a reality star, but rather as a mother who is about to lose everything she owns, including her child. The silence is terrible, but no one can foresee what will happen next, and everything will be made public in 72 hours. 2 hours.